Hi guys and welcome to 88K Productions. My name's Chris Kenny and today I just want to talk to you a little bit about humanisation. So humanisation is quite literally just adding a human element into MIDI notes, into sequencer instruments. Because sometimes when we're in a sequencer, what can happen is we can have everything exactly in time, the exact same velocity, especially if we've drawn all the notes in. But what humanisation does is it adds that human element back musically, so we can add things a little bit out of time and the velocity in which we play things a little bit different. So I mentioned two things there. Two things that affect humanisation are quantization and velocity. So quantization is putting things in time. But what we can do is we can say to the software to put it roughly in time, so it's not quite exact. And velocity is to do with how hard or how soft we hit the notes. So if we hit the notes really hard, it's going to give us a certain tone. If we hit them soft, it's going to give us a different tone. So what I've got here, in Reason, I've got this set up in a sequencer. I've got this drum kit. Reasonably good drum kit. But what we're going to do is we're going to humanise it. So, I mentioned two things there, velocity and quantization. So first thing we're going to do is velocity. So over here I've got some options. I've got add, which I can add or take away. I've got fixed, I can make them all the same. I can scale them all, so I can add or remove 75%. And random. Okay. So random's the one we're going to look at to add the human element, because you're not always going to play notes the exact same every time. There's going to be a little bit of randomness to it. So we're just going to set that to 20% and hit apply. Now if you look down here, you'll see that the velocities of everything all changed. Okay. And if I unclick, you'll be able to see some of the notes are much darker than others. The darker the note, the higher the velocity. So if I play it now, you can hear that snare and kick is much harder than the other ones, and it just adds that little bit of character to it. Next, let's look at quantization and see what it's doing. So up here I've got quantization. So I'm going to set this to 16ths, because these are on 8ths, but I don't want to completely move them out, so I'm just going to set it to 16ths. And I'm going to say quantize them 90%, so get them roughly to 16ths. And then randomize each note by, let's say, 8 ticks. Okay, so I'm just going to press that a couple of times, and you can see that some of the notes there moved. It's not too noticeable, but it just adds that little bit of a human element. But if you've got loads of layers, what happens is that becomes much more obvious. It becomes much more applicable. So what I've done is I've got two pianos set up here. Okay, same idea. They're just drawn in, so the velocities and quantizations are all the same. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the same thing as we did to the drum kit. Going to randomize them. There we go, so you see some of the notes moved. And we're going to quantize them. There you go, so you can see them shifted around a little bit. And let's do the same to the other one. Okay, so now we've got... So you can hear some of the notes are hitting much harder at some points than others. But more than that, both of these, although it's the exact same thing, are playing at slightly different times. So if I pan these left and right, you get a little bit of a stereo spread because both parts are playing at different times. So it's a really cool effect if you've got multiple layers to get a nice wide mix, but more than that, just to add a bit of character to each part and to your overall production. Looking at humanisation is definitely worthwhile. So try it out, tell me what you think. If you've got any questions, leave them in the comments, and yeah, hope this was useful. Thanks.